All right, all you devils, happy Friday. Oh, here we are, what is it, the 21st of July here, just about 1:45 for me. Yeah, a little behind schedule here, putting together a few ideas to share with you guys. So we'll keep it brief on Bitcoin. We literally have been in this range for 30 days, so there's not a lot to add about potential setup. This is very kind of rudimentary here, and I hadn't looked at this in a while. Thought I'd just bring this to your attention. Many, keep an eye on this. So I've got the Vegas wave here, and then a 50 EMA. So we can just look at the Vegas wave as I use it, the 233. So we can come up with our own golden cross here, 50 crossing in this case the 233. Well, here's the bearish cross. Here's the bullish cross right now. One test here on that little sell-off into the Vegas wave. Right, we don't flip it. In fact, it's interesting to note here we cross the 233 here, and the Vegas wave flips shortly thereafter. Right, all of this downtrend. Now we flip the Vegas wave right here, May of this year. Right, so still your bias would be to the long side. Right, just until that changes, I think you can keep an optimistic bias based on that as a technician. So we're not going to spend a lot of time on that. I just thought I'd bring that up, right, for maybe those that weren't familiar. Of course, many people have heard about the infamous golden cross. All right, so here we sit with the blank chart. Now let's. I think we can work off of the idea that we have a candidate here for a good low end of the correction as we go into the next bull cycle. Now, that does not mean that we are not out of the woods here and couldn't be vulnerable to something much lower here, maybe test some of this. All that is certainly still possible, and you can kind of feel the weight of this, like staying there. Well, oh shit, that thing. Get that off. Let's get back here. It's hard not to notice how this is such a critical zone for the market, right? Support, resistance, support. I mean, so we're sitting at 30K, right? So it's essentially, not quite halfway, but a good an approximation for halfway. Clear, just visually, hard to miss that as being an important level to the market. So that's just kind of the simplified version of it. Come out of there. Let's get you out of there. I'm just going to bring on a few things here just as a refresher. The old members have seen this, 4 times over the last month since we have literally been here for 30 days. So let's just quickly bring up a few things here, and I won't spend a lot of time. What do I want to start with? Let's start with where we are here and some fibs. So let's just as a reminder, right? Because the question, as you ask yourself is, why are we stuck here? Well, I'll let you draw your own conclusions there. I mean, we can stack a number of variables here to explain why we're stuck here. Now, just because we're stuck here, I mean, we can't get through, but you'll note here, I'm just taking the all-time high and then the secondary pivot here. Well, from this pivot here, we are in the golden zone. From the all-time high, right, we are just the 50s just on the other side of it. So, okay. Right, anyone watches my material, any members, right, I'm sure you all have the same thing, right, right? Okay. So I can understand why we're stalling here. Again, there are gazillions of golden zones that break every day, right? That we have to break and we go sideways forever. But you can understand why the struggle here. So you can look at it that way and say, all right, I get it. Okay. Well, what else could we put on here? Well, if we're going to, as I'm prone to do of late, if we're going to add some Elliott, let's add our Elliott. And then we'll see if we can refine that a little bit. All right, this is the count I've been working with. It's as valid as any. There are alternate counts. I've had people asking for a bear count. How about this? When we get a golden cross the other direction, I'll start looking at bear counts. I just think that's the wrong side of the market to be on right now. Okay, off the low, good candidate for a low here. Those are actually locked in on that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. could be, right? Of course. The alternate being that this could be 1, 2, 1, 2, right? That's actually more bullish than to suggest that we completed the first one here, right? If it's 1, 2, 1, 2, right? It's more bullish, right? You got another, oh shit, actually this should be, well, it doesn't matter. We'll leave it there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Mighty skinny on the 5th. Straight to the golden zone. Right, and we've looked at some of these pivots here. So, okay, if this is the 2 via WXY, well, there's a clean impulse going up. Now I'm just sideways. So ideally, we'd want to see some sort of, if this is going to be a WXY, something like this, we'd come down here. There's a lot of imbalance here. Maybe fill some of that in, and so we get a better read on this as a 1, 2, looking for 3. Now, obviously, right, we got to get through that golden zone. Then the next one, we got the big daddy up here. Is it, what do we got there? We'll call it 41. That's going to be the tougher one to get through. And you'll note here the same kind of consolidation up at that one as we get here. So it's going to take some muscle to get up there, right? So that muscle being size, volume, whales. Traders with intention that can move the market to break through that 65 there at 41. But we get through that, and then it's, well, there won't be any algo resistance here. But before that, again, as much as I, you know, like anyone, right, who's a crypto enthusiast or a Bitcoin bull, we don't want to root for the market to be falling down. But maybe a little retrace here creates some better entries for those looking to add and or just get some clarity on where we are in the count. Because this is, you know, can we count it? Yeah, with some sort of combination. Not an easy count to get a grasp on, so you make an educated guesstimate of what we're doing in there. It looks like it's a series of 3s, so you would think WXY, we need an ABC to come down. Again, fill in some of that. So there's those things. Now let me get those off of there here, since it kind of made that point that we can understand some of the technical reasons here. Well, now let's put our friends over at Sonar Labs, right, who we work with and strongly endorse this product and have a little deal, right, for any of you that, I say this every time, right, so any of you that are interested in this, we have a little kicker, so you can use our link that's in our link tree below. You'll get a 10% discount. Okay, so let's pull that to the side. Okay, so now just, okay, you can, well, one thing you can see right off the bat is how cleanly, how beautifully market structure and the idea of supply and demand zones here fits into an Elliott count, right? It's just, they just play together just beautifully. So we look here and we say, well, we got some supply here, and looks like, you know, that maybe that's why, right? So you see, one thing, and I guess what I'm trying to get to here, we don't want to just go, oh, there's a magic box there, so I guess I can't buy it, right? That magic box tells me to sell it or to not buy it. So I got a magic box above me. Well, okay, let's understand why they're there. And in an effort to do that here, we want to understand there's a reason why this is considered a supply zone, right? It has to make sense. Oh, let's see where I've got these. Oh, hang on. Oh, I thought I drew them in here. Did I put them in another box? Oh, hang on, I'll get them. Hang on a sec. I found them. Sorry, they're in group 2. Okay, so group 2. All right, all we're doing is just looking at where these boxes are and what's there. Okay, so here, now all I've done, pull this off for a sec, is just take the swing high here through the swing low. That's all I'm doing, right? Just I'm using the what do they call this? The fixed range volume profile tool within TradingView. Most of you will have access to that. Okay, well, what do we see down here? So this is pretty obvious, right? So all I've done here is ask it to highlight the value area. So if I pull this over, right, value area, we can understand, oh, okay, well, we sure stayed down there for a long time. But as we come up here, what do we see up here? Right, so as we consolidate here, we'll look at the high volume node here, right? So it would make sense, right? The market stalled here. A lot of business was done here. You've got buyers, sellers, a lot of positions being taken here. So when we come back to this area, it's not like, oh shit, there's a magic box, right? Oh, well, okay, well, that would make sense, right? There's a lot of volume, a lot of business was done here. So perhaps that's why we stall here. Now it's a little bit less pronounced up here, but you do have another one up here. It's not quite as dramatic. But if I were to zoom in on that and take it out of log scale, you'd see a little bit more there. But that you can understand, okay, well, now I see why these boxes are here. It's not just, oh, well, okay, there's an up, there's an up bar before we go down. There's a little more to it than that. If we look down here, if I do it this way, right? Here's the POC right here. Yeah, we got wicks through it, but if you're looking here saying, oh man, wasn't there an order block right there? Yeah, there is. We'll look at it in a second. But you're just coming back to where the most volume was done. Sure, that happens to be a golden zone, right, as well. Right, so now you start to put some ideas together. Oh. Right here. Am I in log? Take it out of log. Okay, out of log here. So here's the POC. I just drew the high volume node, drew it over here right into a golden zone. Out of log. Right, second target. Right, third target above. So looking here, now you go, okay, supply. Not just, oh, there's a box there. Let's understand it. Right, and I would encourage you to do that on any, whether it's supply demand zone, whether you want to call them order blocks, whatever you want to call them. Make sure that it makes sense to you, right? That there's a reason why that would be there, rather than, oh, there was a down candle. Right? Let's look a little and dig a little bit deeper so we understand why. Why is there a down bar there? Why? If that's an accumulation, what are they doing there? Is that accumulation before they bring it back? Right? Mitigate, and then off we go. Just making that point there. Let me get this out of here. And I think I had one more to add into that, which is, here I am in group 2. Come out of there. All right, let's add this one. And now let's add this one. Again, all I've done is just draw the swing range here. So if we zoom in a little bit. Oh, let me take sonar off here for a second, just so we can see that. Right, we know, right, the software is drawing this as a, here I've drawn it as well because I drew from that high volume node. Well, now again, I'm just taking swing low to swing high. Okay, well there's the, right, right, we've been there for 30 days. It would make sense here that we've got a value area established and we've got a lot of business being done here. Breakout traders getting bent over, sellers getting bent over, right? What do we do when in a range here? We want to sell the highs, buy the lows, or choose not to trade it, which I think is a very reasonable choice here, because that is, I mean, I would tell you it's damn near untradeable unless you're a scalper. This draws to light the imbalances here, right? As we look through all of this is just vapor here. There's almost nothing here to support it. So thus you can understand the probes lower, right? If we start to come down, nothing till we get lower. So the idea that we could come down here, let's tee it up. Oh, if this is going to be WX and we're going to go, maybe we go A, B, and we come down for we come down for a C, something like this. Golden zone. Okay, well, if I'm coming into golden zone, I'm clearing up all of this imbalance here. All this imbalance gets cleared up. And boy, I got a little more volume here. Let's see if I get you right there. Got a little more volume here. Okay, maybe I'm going to come down deeper. Do I need to come that low? 27 and change. Well, it certainly wouldn't kill the bull count. We don't need to come down here. But if I look here, boy, there's just nothing there, right? It's just vapor. Nobody on the other side of that to support it. So we certainly, you could understand how we could come down, right? But of course, the financial media will be Bitcoin crashes, which is not necessarily a bad thing for us, because if that's what people are thinking, right, that's what you want, is people selling right into the demand here, because the average person won't know that golden zone is there, and we'll just sit there with our catcher's mitt and just say, please, yes, please, keep selling it. So we get an opportunity to buy it here, and then we get clarity that we have an Elliott count here we can wrap our head around. 1, 2, what do we want, right? That would be your target for a 3, up at 38. Now we start to bring in, remember the 65 was at 41, so now we're pushing into some of that upside resistance here. 1 WXY would be, now I don't have this, right? So I'm just prognosticating, if we start to break, right? If this starts to go for whatever reason, right? Just manipulation, whales dumping, whales trying to squeeze out weak longs, doesn't matter, right? at least we'd come back down here, we'd find a little bit of business that was done down here, so we could understand if it comes to the golden zone, you'll understand. It's not like, oh, well, magic lines. Why, right? Understand the reason why. So now let's see if I put let's put Sonar back on here, and you start to see how the ideas start to coalesce, right? Okay, well, here's an impulse. We're stalling. We're going to come down here. Well, here I got a big. Here I just drew that. I've got that. Well, let's get you out of there, right? So if I were to draw that again, just all through all of that, right? Obviously here we got a little bit down here. So if we're coming down here, that's going to need to hold, right? Sonar does this as well, although I kind of like to draw them myself, right? So they're just going to use swing low to swing high. So obviously all the volume is done up here, very little support down here, and you can see just vapor, right? Just nothing there if we're going to come down. So you can understand why the market is trying to hold that edge. Get out of here. It'll be one of the weirdest twos I've ever seen, but Bitcoin is prone for very unusual twos, or very shallow twos, or twos that just distort the right look, as Elliott would call it. So we have to be flexible with that. But if we start to come down, you'll understand why. If it falls, it would likely fall quickly. All right, do I have anything else there? I don't think I do. Hopefully that makes sense to you, right? Don't take a trade because there's a magic box there. Understand why you're taking it. Oh, I got everybody there? I think I do. Okay, let's go take a peek at ETH. All right, same idea here. I've drawn this up from before. Now we've looked at ETH here. Let's pull way out. Looked at ETH a number of times here here, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time here, but there's a couple of just reminders here of what moves the market. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC, right? It's kind of simplified, right? I'm not filling in all the 1, 2, 3, 4. I think you all can see that. We've been through it so many times. I don't know that I need to recount the entire thing for you. But this is kind of a simplified version. 5 up, 3 down. Same thing. And now all I've done here is take this swing and drawn in from the high to the low and say, okay, well, where was the business done? Where's their volume, right? We know institutions, large traders are going to look for that volume to where they can get into the market with size and not disrupt the market. So as I did before, I just took that high volume zone, said, okay, well, let's understand this. Why, right? Here's the POC. Right, where's the most volume done? Where's the low? You know, it's logical. It's not voodoo, right? It's not like TA voodoo. Oh, it went right to the point of control where the most trading took place through that entire thing. That's where we pivot. Okay, got it, right? So now we look at that and you go, okay, right, well, that's interesting. Okay, well, now we gotta remember the dominant algo, right? I know, right? Oh, fuck, not this again. It's just so pervasive in here. For those of you, because we get new viewers and new members on a pretty regular basis here. So I got to remind you, right? You can't. This needs to be. I don't care what chart you pull up. This has to be part of your. Well, I shouldn't say it that way. I would strongly encourage you to consider this as part of your analysis. There's no trade I would ever take ever without checking this. Let's look at it. Why do you say that? Holy shit, man, that's a pretty strong statement. Why would you say that? Oh, what do I have in here? Let's go first one. Okay, so let's just do them one at a time. So here's the first swing, right? I know, right? Some of you, it's like, oh, fuck, not this again, right? That's golden zone double bottom, right? We go third target. Okay, oh, good one there. Okay, let's go... let's take that one off. Let's go to the next one. All right, so we go here. Now we start to correct golden zone, right? Looks like the POC, the little front run here, as we came to the POC, kept us a couple of ticks off of the target. Somebody bought it there that has no idea that that's there, right? I guarantee you, obviously, somebody traded right there. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, swing up. We get a completed impulse. What do we do? Where are we looking for a 2? Between a 50 and a golden zone. What do we do? 50 to the tick. All right, okay, well, that's 3. That's pretty good on those 3, right? But, you know, I'll bet it's not there again. Really? 2, the proposed 1, golden zone. Now you bring up the chart, right? If you're not looking for it, you wouldn't know, would you? Right? Let's put on the market structure here. Okay, so now I've got a count, that a proposed count, right? We can't confirm them until we're done. Let me pull out a little bit. Okay, let's come down here. Okay, so here's our 1, 2, right? So we got a candidate here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? This is, you know, tweak them a little bit. 1, 2, we know that's a perfect 50. Now, not going to be 3. 1, 2, golden zone. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? We're trying to get legs here. Trying to get legs to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Right now, just that's what, 4 1, 2s in a row. So it should give you an idea of the bullish potential here. Just that, just potential. 1, 2. We need a, what do we need out of here? Right? We need an impulse, a correction, an impulse, correction. There we go. Then we got a 1, 2. Then we got a 3. Right, but that would be 3 at this degree. I actually should be bringing these up higher. That would be 3 at this degree. 4, 5 to give us the 3. Oh shit, got that backwards. 3, 4, 5 to give us the 3. Still need 4, 5. By the way, still need another one here. I should make that the big daddy. Right, still need another one. I mean, you can tell me that you think Elliott Wave is bullshit. I mean, it's fine. It's your prerogative, right? All I do here is try and give you examples of where it's useful, and it's not always useful. Not always. It's not always there. Is it here? So think where I started here. I started just with fibs. Then you start, you know, okay, is there an Elliott count that works? Now, okay, now we got some magic boxes, right? We got some pivots here where we've retraced. Do they make sense? Oh, I think I didn't draw this one. Here, let's just out of curiosity, if I draw that, where's the value area? Right here. All right, where's the edge of value? All right, well, we've got a high volume zone right here. Right, now, I'm taking the whole thing, right? So the fact that we stalled here, but look where we retraced to, right? Oh, and by the way, don't forget, that's a perfect golden zone. Do you see how it starts to come together? So you go like, oh, okay, well, did I know it was going to hold there? No, of course not. But that's all you get as a trader. A confluence of technical indicators. That's it. That's all you get. Right? If you're looking for more than that, it's going to be a long, lonely trip for you in the markets. Right? That's as good as you will ever get on a setup. I can't put a better one in front of you. We say, oh shit, man. Well, thanks a lot. Right now, it's gone. Is it? Is it gone? Is it too late? We got a target up here at almost 4,000. It's too late? You sure? We'd have a good invalidation point. So if this is an impulse here, and look, oh, well, you know, it's hard to tell, right? It looks like 5. Looks like we might be doing an expanded B. It's too soon to tell, right? But if Bitcoin comes down, which it looks like it's vulnerable to getting a push down, right? If a whale wanted to push, it's going to fall, because there's no support. So is this a 1 going in? Well, it's hard to call it, right? I don't like to say, oh, the 1 is definitely in. Okay, maybe it's in. 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like 1, A, B, C, and then we'd go. So all of this still right down here. Let's get out of the daily here. Let's go to a 4 hour. See if we can dig into that a little bit better. Can I get that over? Well, that looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, looks like, well, let's label it. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, that's a bit large. W, it could be WXY, because that looks like a 3. So let's go W, X, Y, right? Waiting for that to come down a little bit further. Now here it gets a little trickier. We don't know, right? So as Elliottians, we would say, oh, here's the golden zone. But you've heard me say 1,000 times. Algo doesn't care about your Elliott count, right? It's just going to use swing low to swing high. So if we're going to come down for a Y here and we're looking at the golden zone, okay, slow down, right? So here's, let me just get some of this out of here. Let's get this one out of here. And let's do the exact same thing. All right, so let's just pull that up over here. Okay, well, here's the POC. Literally right there, we got a demand zone here. It's already had a reaction. Let's get in there. Oh, shit, hang on. Okay, let's get in there. All right, here's our POC right at this demand zone, right? And that, how convenient, right? And that, of course, Sonar Labs does their own, but I prefer to draw them myself, right? Because they're drawing it here from the proposed swing high to the proposed strong low. That's all they're going to get. I want to see more than that, so I like to use that. But it's kind of handy just for a quickie look at a chart, right? That you can see that. Okay, well, is that surprising? Probably not, right? That we're sitting here in all of this chop, doing nothing, going sideways, right? The market is just waiting, right? Waiting for a catalyst. Could it be the ETFs? Ethereum's just gone through an upgrade. Quite honestly, I don't understand the technology behind it, but it looks like it's going to be an improvement. Got a big imbalance up here. So if we come higher, is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of an A? It kind of looks like, right? A good candidate for it. Okay, there would be a 3. You got a candidate for that. That could go higher. Right, here's the 50, right? So ideally, you'd come up to this fair value gap and you'd get to sell into that and maybe push up the Y here. So we'd get an A, B. We don't know, right? Get an A, B, down for a C. Looking for the entry a little bit lower. Right, you can, well, here, if I do the same thing here, you can envision that there's going to be similar kind of, here's the POC. Look at the POCs on top of each other here, and that's 2 different draws. So we've got that coming down here. Boy, we'd be right on the edge, and you'll recall that when you're looking at volume profile, you want to look at the ledges, right? And you do have a little high volume here if it's going to come lower. And another one down here, right? But the meat of it is here. Secondary one, right? So this is here to here. This one's here to here. So you've got all of this consolidation here. Not surprising. If we come a little bit lower, we'd be right on these edges down here, right? There's support below it. But you'd prefer not to see it go that low, right? You'd prefer to see it stay down here, right? If we're going to get out of the edges here, let's tag one of these higher volume nodes down here. Maybe we get that reaction. Now we're going to have some work. This will go from demand zone to breaker block, right? So there's the potential that this becomes the resistance as we come back, and we got to go lower. Remains to be seen, but right now as we look at this, it's incredibly technical. It's a lot of hurry up and wait in crypto, all the way up to the top, right? That's how I would be keeping an eye on both. But here's, so prime zone 1800 and change. If this is A, B, and we're going to come down for a C, and again, premise being if Bitcoin rolls over, that'll drag ETH with it and everything else. You'd come down into that support, right? So, I mean, it's frustrating, right? We tend to be impatient, right? Everybody wants it all right now. Okay, this is forcing patience, or what you're doing is you're trying to scalp in there and dig through the chop, and that's usually not a good way. To be, well, I shouldn't say that. That can take some of the fun out of it. Let me say it that way, right? Be patient. Wait for the trade, right? There'll be plenty of fun when we're up at 4,800. You'll be glad you were patient, right, and didn't fuck around in that slop, which is all it is, right? That's untradeable. It's just gambling in there. Maybe it goes up, maybe it goes down, right? 50-50, right? It's going to go up or it's going to go down, right? Well, let's have a little fun in there, right? That's stupid trading. Okay, so I got Bitcoin, I got ETH. Thought I'd go through a couple others here, just somewhat randomly here. A few that one of my senseis, he had given to me earlier in the week for our live stream, but for some reason we had a miscue on the chart or something went right. So I thought I'd look at a few of his. Before we do that here, I'm just going to show you, this is going to be my segue into the next coin we're going to look at. So this is a service that I use into the blocks. Oh, I should have warned you there was white screen. Shit, I think they have a dark screen too, do they? Oh, well, I won't get into that. Sorry. I know that's abrupt. It's very, what do I don't know, 10 bucks a month. So it's very reasonably priced. There's a lot of detail here if you like to dig into some of the details of this, but I often use it as a filter looking for trade ideas. So I'm just on market cap. This is called intotheblock.com. I should have mentioned that. And kind of a reference here, you'll get some, there's a number of services that will give you this, sort of a bias here or signals here. So I just put some filters on this. I said, okay, well, show me things that are bullish, and let's look at the big dogs here. Nothing under 1 million. All right, let's see what we get here. Okay, well, I've got T2, which has almost no market cap. I mean, it's too small. In my view, that's a bit small to be trading at that. It's just too small here. So shit. What do I? Well, here. So my point being, right, if you want to look at it, go for it. But Optimism, that's a player, right? Is certainly one we want to look at. It's mostly bullish. So if you click on it here, you get a little more detail here. And you can dig in further here. I'm no affiliate links or anything, right? It's just a good service, or it's one that I use. Mostly bearish here. On-chain signals. You got one little bullish here, and you got, the sentiment's not terrific. But at least as we think about, okay, is there something bullish here that's got a market cap? I mean, T2 is so new that I forget T2. Oh, okay, we're over $1 billion here with Optimism. Well, let's go look at the chart. All right, so I got to jump on this one. It's not the most obvious Elliott count that I've seen. It's a little, it's very alt-like. Pump, dump, pump, dump. Oh, what am I in log here? I think I'm out of log here. Oh, either way, let's stay out of log. Okay, so it looks to me like, all right, with some sort of, oh Jesus, almost doesn't matter. It looks to me like that's a 5 here. That's a 3. That's a 5. So my view here is something impulsive. What's the 3 and the 4? Does that matter over here? I'm going to suggest not, right? So, but the correction, right? So we're trying to say, okay, well, it's a big correction. Is it over? Okay, well, here's a 5 followed by a 3 followed by a 5 followed by a 3. Is it here or here, right? It's just wick up here. So A, B, C, okay. Looks like I can get 5 down, 3 up, 5 down. All right, so here I come right back into demand, get a monster collapse wick, right, that is quickly rejected as it comes into that demand. Now coming out of here, see, okay, well, mostly bullish. It's certainly not raging bull. And this Elliott is, it's okay, it's acceptable. I don't mean my count is the correct count. It's a count. I mean, we can look here and say, okay, well, at least it came into the demand here and we got a reaction. So what are we doing now? Oh, okay, well, here we are at the supply. So if I did the exact same thing, right, same process, okay, let's be logical about it. Okay, well, here's a high volume node. Here's the POC, right? You just draw them across. Say, okay, well, here, okay, I can understand, right? It's not just a magic box, right? Okay, oh, there's supply there. That would make sense here. A lot of trading was done there. You refine it down even more, and you'll note that Sonar Labs is doing this for you right now. Again, they're doing it on the side here. I like to draw them myself, and I like it a little tighter. Right? I want to see all of that. POC, right? Just emphasizing the drawdown here. So if we're going to get out of here with something bullish, well, I sure don't have a good-looking 5 there. So it looks like I've got an ABC, ABC, and maybe an ABC. If we're going to come out of here with a leading diag, well, there's some qualifications for that. We put our Elliott hats on. Okay, well, I need a big 3, 4, and 5 has to be further than 3, right? So I need a 1, 2, 3 greater than 1, 5 greater than 3, and then I'd have a good leading diag to come out of here, right? Well, that's a mighty bullish count because we're talking about completing this way. We'd have to overlap the 1, and you're going to have to do something like that. So I'd probably move this around. Move this around a little bit. Get that A back there. Something along those lines. Right now, that's wishful thinking. I don't have it. But if this is going to be bullish and we're going to get a turn here and Optimism is going to run, here, note here I'm over on BitGet. That's our sponsor, right? So when I can, I'm always going to look on BitGet, right? Great exchange. I use it all the time. I highly recommend it. Doing a lot of good things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I don't have it. You can see, right? You can imagine there's likely demand up here. Oh, we can probably use that. And oh, you can't see it, but there's a high volume node right there. Oh, I know you can't see it. It's right there, right? So well, here, look at the price action, right? Wouldn't be surprising there was volume done there before we dump. And now can we come back to that? Would get her done. So one to be watching. Now, if we can break the supply here and get on the other side of it here, keep in mind that this has got to go. This has to go as a 3. This would have to be the A, the B, and the C, or if we do it this way, right? We've got to do it as a 3. If it's 3 here, well, this looks like it might be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Too soon to call it. It's in the process, right? But again, you can understand why we stall here. It's always the question: why do we stall there? I think from here we have a break. Yeah, we do. So you'd have to go back one. So we're at the 50s. Gonna have to get through that golden zone. High volume node at a 50 supply makes sense, right? It's not oh, magic bubbles. That's perfectly logical. I get it. Let's wait and see on this one on your watch list, right? This is going to be I think one we're going to want to pay attention to. We're going to hear a lot more of. Okay, let me keep moving. What else did I have? AI is all the rage. So let's go over to C3.ai. This is one, what my lead sensei's, who, as I've mentioned many times, is my most accredited Elliottian. He's a level 3 certified Elliottian, and this was one that he steered me. Well, he actually sent this to me on the live stream, and the chart didn't come through. So thought I'd give it a revisit. Same ideas here. Okay, 1, 2. Could that be a 1, 2 via this WXY as he's labeled it? I should note C3.ai. This is a daily. And I'm taking the swing range here. I'm coming back down here. Okay, well, here's a high volume node, right? So if I pull this over, there's a little, potentially you'd call it an order block or a demand zone. Last swing down before we go up. Oh, it's tied to that high volume. Okay, so it's not just a magic box. Oh, makes sense. So what do I get here? Right, we're in between the 50 and the golden zone, right? So I get not a golden, but I get a corner pocket. Look. Not there yet. It's not there yet. Now, so we have missed here, which is interesting because trading principle number 3 from Alan Andrews is that if we miss the median line, right, it sets up the potential for a move equal to or greater than the move that missed. Right? That's the principle. That's the idea. We see that reflected often, but we could certainly go into a 1. Well, this is the 1. Now that's I'm right on the pivots there too, because I was checking that. We just miss it here before we start this rollover. So it looks like we've got an A, B, expand the B into a C for a 2, for a flat into the 2, and then candidate here for a 1 going 2. Note all the high volume here for a potential rip into that. Now we may not get that median line until way down the road, right, later this year. But I wouldn't bet against it. Now, if there's some collapse or AI gets, I don't know what they're going to do, right? But we got governments involved, so be warned. If this is, it looks like you got an A and you 1, 2, 1. Pardon me, A, B, C. Let's go in there. It looks like an A, B, C is going in. A, B. We'd look for this a little bit lower. Oh, look conveniently here. Look at the fair value gap we've got. So there's a 2 here. This would be entering the discount zone. But if this is going to be 1 and we're going to go A, B, C, we actually would rather see this hold here, because here's the first tap where we had a buy below from the discount level, right? Looking at the swing low, swing high. Well, here's the 50. So if we came back into that, I should probably make that easier to see. Let's make that. Let's go to submenu. Okay, let's put it in white so you can see it a little bit better. Okay, so there's a 1, A, B, C. Candidate for a 2. All right, get this. Candidate for a 2. Thus, 1, 2. Can we get the 2 there? Well, what are we looking for? I had this drawn before, but a little crowded in there. If that's the 1, I want to use the swing high. We've already tagged the 50. Where's the fair value gap? Right, the imbalance, right at the golden zone. High volume. put an alert there. Right? If we sit here and we start to move off of that very low risk trade, right? Why do we love the golden zone? Right? I've shown this a gazillion times. Oh shit. Where is my? All right, oh, Jesus. There we go. Right. So for longing right now, we're still looking. We're swinging for. I'd probably use 707, something below that. If I where are you? 707, right? So something in this range here. So I might use the 779, something like that, as a stop here because I want to give this a little room. Now, if stopped out, see, this is something I talk about a lot. Don't do that. Don't do that. Right? Take the stop here. If it's going to be a deeper, maybe this is going to go WX and this is going to be an ABC. We don't know, right? We don't invalidate until we get down here. But don't suffer through all this drawdown and then wait for it to come back, right? I mean, of course, one of your choices here would be to work with options, right? And if you have that free fall here, you don't want to stick around because the time decay, it will take too much to get it back, right? So you're always better to take the first hit and just get out. Take the loss. I know nobody likes to do it, but you're better to get out and then reevaluate. If we come down here and you get something like this, well, just reevaluate. Do you still like it? Is this ABC? Is this Is it WXY? Could be, right? So you're going to wait and see. But until that comes, there's no reason to assume anything other than 1, 2, 3. Right? Low risk trade. What do we got there? There's 10 to 1. It's 10 to 1. I mean, not good enough for you? The logic makes sense to you? We've got an 80% probability here of getting that median lines unfilled. Unfulfilled, I should say. AI is, what are they calling it now? The fourth revolution? Going to change all of our lives in ways that we're not fully aware of or can fully appreciate unless you work in that industry. I'm still getting my head around it. It's going to change everything. Okay, so we want to participate, right? You don't have to understand it to know that it's going to change things, and right, you want to have a piece of the growth that's coming, right? Now you could do that. Oh shit, you could do that in something like Microsoft here, which I had, by the way, just teed up here, right? You want to catch a more conservative way to participate in AI. Well, I wonder if Microsoft is technical. You think the algo is going to be dominant here in Microsoft? Well, here I've made it easy for you. Here's the COVID low all the way up, right? Now we correct. What do? Golden zone. And in addition, maybe you don't spot this right off the bat here, but as we're correcting, here's the swing low. We come back, tag the 50 to the tick. Where's the target? You can't even see it. The target, I have to wiggle it so you can see it, right, is right on top of the 618. Right, so they go just far enough to clear the target, get into the golden zone. Look what comes off. How do I know it's an algo? Well, look at the precision on the target, and then look what comes off as it hits the next golden zone. Now, when this is like as I was just saying with C3.ai, when we were down here at 215, if I told you there was an 80% probability that we were going to hit that median line, 150 points higher. Excuse me, $150, would you have said, oh, of course? Or would you have said, oh, you're out of your fucking mind? Boom. You know, I show these to you not to go, oh, look at the after the fact trades, right? I get a lot of that. People are like, oh, fuck, man, it's after. You got to see it to have enough conviction, so the next time it sets up, like this was in your lap, the next time that sets up, you go, okay, I'll give that a try. I've seen it, depending on how long you've been watching my content, 10,000 times. I mean, what's the number of times that it takes you to see that? You go, oh shit, I'm gonna start paying attention to that. Oh man, I've seen that 80% get hit, I don't know, 6,000 times. I'm gonna start paying attention to that. That's my goal here, I'm not here to brag about my trading that's never what it's been about. I always make it about my members, my customers, my subscribers, right? As long as you're doing well, I do just fine. How many times do you need to see that before you go, you know what? I'm going to start using those median lines. Those look pretty good. What was that he said? Oh yeah, there's 4 trading principles. What are those? Well, if you want to get them, think of a good source, right? TradeDevils.com. Looks like I got a clean 5 here that gives me that third here. So 1, 2, 3. Now you'd be anticipating, right? Now we know trading principle number 3. If we're not going to pivot right on the median line, we could hover around it before the market decides if we go into the upper parallel, we're going to come back towards the lower parallel. All right, well, let's just slow down for a second, right? So we've got an unfilled target here, right? Don't we? 80% realized, but the algo target's not met. Now, just because there's a target there does not mean that the market must go there. I don't know that I'd bet against that. Microsoft at 400, barring the unforeseen. Be kind of surprising if it didn't. So 1, 2, well, where am I looking for the 4, right? So again, I know, I feel like it's so redundant, right? And that's the point, right? It's the same thing over and over and over again. I want you to understand the process, right? Not, oh, it's Microsoft, not, oh, it's Bitcoin, not, oh, look at that in Ethereum. It's every asset done the same way every time. That's how you build consistency. That's how you learn this. You apply it. Yes, you're going to be wrong often. Everybody is often. That's what makes trading so hard, right? Can you withstand being wrong 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times in a row? Well, you won't survive if your money management's not good. Can you survive mentally? That's the bigger question, right? Money management can be taught. That mental discipline, the patience, all of that, if you're not born with it, you can develop it over time. It takes a lot of getting beat up by the market, and the market will spit you out, chew you up and spit you out. To most people, it does. They come in here think they're going to make money trading. Most people can't do it. All right, so we come here. What are we looking for here? Maybe 3 to come down here. We got some structure, some demand, right? Something like that. So that to put that together, what you're looking at here is this. 1, 2, 3, 4, up for the 5. Get the median line. Get that algo target. Do I know that's coming? No. I wouldn't bet against it. All right, so I think that covers us on Microsoft. Oh shit, what do I have over here? No, that one's not ready. Let's go. Oh, this is another one that will remind you of Bitcoin. So unusual. All right, so here's RIVN, right? Is that a Tesla killer? I don't know. Another one from PK, my sensei here. PK Asavenda is his handle in our Discord, right? But this is when he and apparently one of our members, Dr. John, they were working on this together. So here we'll pull the let's pull the sonar out. Let's pull the market structure out. Okay, do we need market structure here? Well, it looks like 1, 2. That looks like a 3, so we can't start there. So 1, A, B, C gives me a good 2. All right, 1, 2. That's a ripper. All right, straight up. What do I have over here? Well, if this is a 3 and we'd be looking for the 4 down here, well, we can see all right, some biz was done here, right? That's where we're looking for the 4, right? See, if we break that 23, we got a gap there. Likely we fill the gap. So coming back into the value, into this high volume zone here, that's the edge of value because the PLC is up here. Just coming to that, okay, that could work as the 4. What else do I have? Well, that's interesting, right? So we look here, swing low, swing high. You got some wicks going through, but that looks like that is a little bit of a slop here where we've got to close just beyond. So that would give you advantage bulls, right? You've got a very slight break here on the daily, very slight, but a break is a break. Again, can we understand? Well, it's the same question, right? Always. Why does it stop there? Why doesn't it keep going? Why, right? You can probably, let's put sonar back on. And look here, do we have some supply there? Well, not really, right? Or we've already eaten through it, right? It's been mitigated. So with that now, since we've got it's ever so slight, but a close beyond it, that would give you more conviction here. So if this is, are we finishing the 3rd here? Did we finish here? And this is an AB, and we got to truncate here because this is coming down a little bit. Hard to call it, right? You're just, what can we say with certainty, right? We're just sitting in, don't know that I need to draw it. We're sitting in this congestion, right? I mean, whether it's you draw it yourself or you let Sonar do it, right? Okay, well, obviously, right, we got consolidation here. Now, is it distribution or accumulation, right? That's a lot of gaps underneath here. And for us with our Elliott hats on, we'd rather see this come down. Let's come down just to get a chance to get back in. Maybe that's W or A, B, C, come down here or something like this. Right, that's where we're looking for it. Here it could be lower. There's the discount and premium zone. Now for a 4, we typically don't want to wait for that to go deep discount. We want the 4, ideally no more than the 50. Right, but the prime zone here is right in the gap, right between the 23 and the 38. That's your prime zone. So maybe we come down here. We don't know. This could just keep going. There's no knowing. But I can look at it and I can go, okay, well, that makes sense as to why we would stall here. So if we're going to come down, I mean, interestingly, if I do it the other way, we'll just do it from this. Right, we had all of this being consolidation here. It got thinner and thinner and thinner as we went back up against this. There was, note here, there's really nothing there, nothing all through this to hold it. Right, so up we go. There's nothing there, which is what I'm suggesting, right? Same thing with Bitcoin and some of the others. If we start to come down, there's nothing to hold it there. There's no support. I mean, you can say, oh, well, it's a 38. That'll be support. No, that's silly, right? There's got to be evidence of why there would be support there. These are not magic lines or magic boxes, right? They're based in reality. Some would draw that as a little. I'll call it a momentum block, right? Little swing up before we go down. I mean, you could refine that even further, but I'd use the whole swing up, right? It's up before we go down. So just tickling the edge of that. Sonar is not using it. It's all right. You don't have to take the software programmers as, gods, right? If you think that's a little swing up, right? A little supply. Well, okay. So if you thought that, can you validate it, right? Would it make sense? Here, let's just do that. Okay, well, right there, I got a POC. I'm just looking, okay, here's the last little swing before we went. So I can look right here and say, that's the POC right there. So that's not unreasonable to think perhaps you've got some demand here, or pardon me. You got some supply there, right? Based on the evidence, not magic boxes. All right, if that one comes down here, I'd be looking for that. So you got a pretty nice little potential push up here. For that to complete, that 5 may not go that high, but that would be a reasonable target. Now, what are we waiting for after that? All right, so 4 down, 5 up, 3 down. Elliott 101. That's RIVN. We looked at C3.ai. This is another one that he sent me. I just thought was just so striking here. I meant to leave that off here, but we'll get up. Okay, so Verasity, never heard of it. Never heard of it until today. All right, this is one that he sent to me because he liked the TA on this. I said, well, let's just take a peek here. Well, all right, well, here, this looks like that was demand, right? Same idea. Wait, so if I pull this over here, right? Now, I could make this wider. Oh, let's go 55 here. Right, so it stands out a little bit more, right? Sometimes you lose the perspective, right? If it's so thin, right? Okay, well, so duh. Okay, so got a magic box there. Well, what else? So what's the question, right? Please tell me this is what's going through your mind right now. Why does it stop there? Verasity, never heard of it. Do I need to have heard of it to understand what happened there? I mean, we're from Microsoft, Bitcoin, ETH, Optimism, to Verasity. Do you see every single one of them? Not most of them. Every single one of them is ruled by that algo. Every single one. So I mean, if you've watched 10 of my videos, how could you not make that one of the first things you do? Where is it? What did it do last? Right? Wouldn't that be? So here we have a candidate here for this to be 5 down, right? So this is, shit, Verasity. I never heard of it. I don't even know what they do. 1, 2, 3. It's something with online videos and gaming. They're trying to make it better better business model for gamers and content producers. Okay, good. Right, I'm a content producer. Good, make it better. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, is this hard to spot? Right, Verasity, I have no idea. Right, oh well, that Elliott Wave, that's bullshit. Right, that's my grandfather's TA. Right, that's not there anymore. It doesn't work anymore. That's old. You tell me. You tell me if that's effective. 5, well, if we've got 5 up, what are we looking for? We're looking for 3 down. Well, I got 5 down here, right? I don't think anyone's going to argue with me here that this is an impulse, right? There's an impulse right there, right? In addition, my level 3 certified technician, Elliott technician, drew it up as a 5 down. I'm not going to argue with him. Plus, I see it, right? It's not hard to see that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? A 10-year-old could do that. Okay. 5 down. Come out of there. 5 down into a golden zone. Okay. What are we looking for now? So now we're looking for 3, right? What are we looking for? We're looking for, oh, God damn it. Come here. God, that thing annoys me. I'm looking for A, B, C, right? That's what I'm looking for. Oh, if is this just going to be Elliott 101? Oh, 5, 3, 5, right here. He mapped it out for us. Okay, well, I've got the A wave. Well, let's make this a little bigger. So this is all clear. Okay, so here's the A, right? So 5 up of a 1, A. I need 3 here. So what am I looking for? So I'm looking for A, B, C. Now let me bring that down a bit here. Let's put it in yellow. That'll work. Okay, so I got an A. I got a candidate for a B. Now what am I looking for? Right, I'm looking for the C. Right, but I'm expecting this to play as a zigzag. Right now it may change, but right now it looks like I got 5, 3, and I'm looking for 5. Okay, well, if I was looking for that, and I thought maybe the B was in, what's the highest probability location, the most consistent location where we find a B? Golden zone. Does that mean that couldn't break? Of course not. But do you understand? Do you see? Right? It's just one after the next, after the next, after the next. I guarantee there's probably another one right here. How could that not be the most dominant technical component that you look at? I don't understand, right? I mean, it just stuns me, right? 50 golden zone after pinging the golden zone for the major correction low. Yet people sell right into it, buy right into it. I mean, I'm to the point where I'm considering this a public service, right? I mean, you got to stop doing that, right? You got to know where that is. Oh, can't get it on there. Now, right? So we don't know that that's going there, but look where that target is. Oh, let's get that off of that. So what would I have here? If I have an impulse followed by a 3 that goes right into the golden zone, what do I have? I have a golden corner pocket. So meaning that I have 80% probability that I get to that median line. Now am I going to get there here? I've got 80% odds that I get there. If I just get it right here, well, because this is correction, I'm going to look at it in, I'm going to get a shift on there. Right? Corrections, we want to look at a shift. Now we got to get, remember, this has already been realized. It was like the very first one I showed you. I think it was Ethereum. I can't remember. So Ethereum. So we've gone swing down golden zone. Here's the target at the other golden zone. So the algo in here has already hit its target. Already hit. Right now we're looking, is this 1, 2 before we go 3, 4, 5 of that C? I mean, that would be one to pay attention to, right? So whether you get there, just think about the risk reward here. Oh, where are we? Okay, so let's say you're taking it here. Oh shit! I mean, I got to take it out of log scale to do that. I'm up here. Okay, back in log. All right, it's got to be in log. I would tell you that range. Okay, so right, if we're putting it right here, where do we know we're wrong? right? If the premise is that the B is in because we hit the algo target, we bounce out of the golden zone, I can be just a tick or two below it. Maybe you give it just a little cushion so that you don't get wicked out. Just a little cushion. My target is the algo. That's 9.71 RR. Why would you not take that trade? Oh, I don't know anything about Verasity. Right? Do you need to? Right? Is it technical? Are any of these not technical? No, they all do the same thing. Right? That's what I've been teaching this for 5 years. I've been trading this for 30 years. I've been teaching it for 5 years. I teach you the same thing. The only thing we've added, right, just out of popular demand, and because it plays so well, it's not like a conflict in everything we're teaching. It's just the market structure. Can you see the market structure here? Right. So we've got an uptrend, but we're expecting the correction. So we look at it this way. Oh, here we just make it easy, right? So here's a break of structure. So it's higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, right? Break of structure. What do we anticipate after the break of structure? Retrace. Well, if we're going to retrace, we got to do that in a bearish way. So we get lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, right? So we get a downtrend within the ongoing uptrend, right? So that's all market structure is. Well, I've got an uptrend. Oh, we got big impulse here. I've got structure breaks all the way. Well, we're going to come down and correct. Where do we want to be looking to be a buyer in market structure? We want to be buying in the discount zone. Where's the discount zone? Right? It's not that complicated, right? Now, if you're new to trading, right? It's like, holy shit, how do I figure out? Understand, right? We can help you with that. But the most important thing I want you to get here is, one, how technical all of these markets are, and two, look at that risk reward. That's 9.7 to 1, right? Again, why not? Why would you not take? Oh, I don't want to get. I'm afraid I'm going to get stopped out. Well, if you're not going to take a trade like that because you're afraid of getting stopped out, somebody else needs to manage your money. You can't be afraid of getting stopped out. I'm not saying take that trade, you're going to make money. I'm saying there's a technical setup that has all of the ingredients for a trader to be interested in. Whether you take it or not, that's up to you. Or, shit, I don't know anything about Verasity. I don't know if you're in the States, if you can even trade it. I don't know if it's on any of the U.S. exchanges. Maybe you got a VPN, but you can't do Qcoin. I think now you got a KYC, right? So it's getting to be fewer and fewer places where you can trade if you're U.S. resident. But we got a whole lot of international viewers and members, right? If you can get on Qcoin, have at it, man. Right. Now, remember, you're trading the correction. You're trading the C of the B, right? Your anticipation is not that this is going to all new time highs. Your anticipation is that we're going down, right? A, B, C. Now, just to put a cherry on it, do we get there? You're right on it. Maybe the target holds it just above it. Maybe we get to the edge, get the algo. Maybe they sweep past it just enough to get in there to trigger the algos. You get your C right on the edge of the shift median lines. Right there's the target of that algo. I know that's a lot of lines on there. I understand it. I know that's hard to get a read on, but let's get all that out of there so you can see it a little better. That's the setup that you're working with. That's the longer term. Now, if that's there, if this were to hit that golden, well, I'd probably start with original. And you say, oh, wait a minute, I don't know, Verasity, shit, I don't know, maybe they're doing something good. I don't know, maybe they are, right? Well, where's, look at it this way. Okay, well, where's the, pretty good down here. So if we're coming down into this range, and now you're into the discount of the discount. I'm not saying short it. I'm not saying that that's going to happen. I'm just saying that's a pretty good setup. And certainly has all of the ingredients to be a roadmap. Now, we don't even have this, right? So you're in here going, Jesus, that looks awfully good. Well, we don't even have the very first part of it. Right, so hold your horses, right? Do I have a 1 here? Maybe. Looks like I might, right? So 1. I'm right on that. Double top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh shit. It's a little sloppy there. So you don't have to just run over here and buy it at the market. I'd maybe put an alert on it. But, let's go on my shit. Remember, I'm on a daily. Let's go on an hourly. Looks a little different. You come down here. Oh, how are we going to do that? Looks like you'd have to do WXY. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. W, X. A little iffy there on the Elliott count. You have to go WXY. You have no other way to do it. WX. You wouldn't mind seeing that go a little bit higher. So if this is going to be you'd rather have this go a little bit higher, so you'd come down from higher, right? So you had more room there. It's one to watch. It's not the cleanest as you come down here. Go to a 4. Sometimes the more detail is not necessarily better. You start to second guess yourself, and this would be one to watch, right? So here, let's just be consistent. Got a big nugget down here. Now we could break the golden zone here. Maybe we go to. I've started including this since all the SMC traders like it. Just a variation here. So I got 618, 65, 705, and 79. So you get, they call it the optimal trade entry zone. Right? So you're essentially, I call it the platinum zone, right? We have a golden zone, we have a platinum zone down here. So anything down here, if this is going to go A, B, C, if this is going to go A, some sort of B, and we're going to come a little deeper, maybe we come down here to 707, I'd wait, right? If it's me, I'm going to wait until I get a pivot that I like, where I can go, okay, I see what it is, rather than just, oh, magic box. Okay, let me take that. That's the one I'll take right there. Wait, show it to me. Give me the higher high, the higher low. Break. So what are we going to have right here, right? If we do that, right, then we'd have change of character here. That'd be a chalk here, right? And then I'd have break of structure here. I'll use it up here, right? So then we'd have, well, you get the idea. Oh, all right, and then we'd have a break of structure here because this gave us a new lower, and then we got more up here. Right? So some people would say, okay, it's not until you get up here, and then we break the structure. Okay, what are we expecting after a break of structure? A retrace that sets up the 4, and then we go that way, right? And then what are we expecting after? This would be another break of structure. What are we expecting after that break of structure? A retrace, A, B, C, back down to some demand down here, right? The whole thing. They play so nicely together. Okay, oh shit, I'm at an hour. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, last one here. Oh man, I didn't think it was going to be this long. Okay, so let's look at Ripple here. Sometimes I get rolling, I lose track of the time. Okay, so I will sort these by time, so you don't have to sit through all of them if you're not interested. Okay, so here's a candidate here. This is Ripple. I figured we'd finish here because this is getting media attention, and some people say it's great news. Other people say, well, if you read the details, it's not a clear win. This is a little difficult. The Elliott here is very tricky. It looks like we got a WXY to give us a 2. So if oh shit, can I pull out here? I'm over on Binance, so I could get more history here. So we've got a candidate for a leading diag into a 1 here, WXY. Well, we get into a series of 3s over here. So this is too much of a stretch to call that an impulse. So I think you got to go ABC. Oh shit. Well, correction. That's not the cleanest looking Elliott. Maybe a WXY. Almost doesn't matter, right? So then so here's our 2, right? We hold the 1. We hold the 1 low, so it's ABC, ABC. Well, we sure don't get an impulse here. So we got a candidate here for this to go into another 1. So this could be ABC, and then we're going to go into a diag. I can't say I love it, although see an alternate here unless we were going to assume that this is a truncation, which I would go to last. So this would be some sort of a, this would be part of the correction, because you can kind of see, you know, truncation is kind of a dirty word amongst eliticians, right? So if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C into a correction, then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, you'd have to truncate down here. So I would go there last resort, only if, you know, this starts to break down or this starts changing. You know, if this being a 3, well, this kind of has to be a 3 as well, but it doesn't quite fit. So it's a little bit of a clusterfuck on the Elliott. I mean, I'm perfectly frank, right? As I say, sometimes the Elliott is helpful, sometimes it's not. Right now, that start is kind of ugly. I don't want to truncate unless I'm forced to, although it would clean up the count, because then I'd have a better looking if I take this off and this is just, okay, well, this is our squishy low down here, where, you know, truncation, well, or at least we finish with a 5. Okay, well, then it makes more sense. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 5 longer than 3, 3 longer than 1. So now I got a nice leading diag to start it off out of the hole down here. You know, may not matter. Maybe you come back to this and go, no, fuck. Maybe it was WX, Y, X. Shit, how could we do that? Well, we've already got, we're already using this as the A, B, oh, fuck. Why are we doing this? A, B, C, D, E. Oh, pardon me. E. So we went A, B, C, D, E, triangle into the B. I should clean that up right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So that catches it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I get a clean finish down here for a Y, but that is kind of a fucker, right? So that could be WX, Y, X, Z. I hate to do that, right? That's an Elliott squish. But we from that, call it consolidation. Oh, now it shows up, right? Smoke, chop, you know, what are we doing? Legal case, boom, leading diag. All right, guys, that's too long. I went way too long. I did not mean to go that long. For those of you that have been through all of this, you're kind to stick around that long. Others, I hope you went fast forward through a few. And there's one very, very consistent thing throughout the whole thing, right? Measure, move, algo, right? The geometry, the Elliott, all of that. You start there, right? You can take all these labels, all these lines, all this stuff off. Start with just the basic measured move, right? Start with that, right? There's 50 to the tick, right? Where in a diag are we looking for the 4, right? At the 50, right? You want to see from the start of the 1 through the pivot of the 3, you're looking for it at the 50 on ABC, right? Second target. Do that, median lines, good money management, you're on your way to a successful career. Now add the nuance, add the Elliott, the market structure as your time and your interest draws you into it, right? It'll only help you, but it just adds more complexity, right? You got to want to do it. Okay, guys, with that, have a great weekend. I'm sorry I went so long today, but hopefully you learned a few things and maybe I gave you a few ideas and some ways to apply what we teach to the way that you trade. And if you want to participate with us and work on this skill set, well, TradeDevils.com. All right, guys, have a great weekend. I'll be back next week. Take it easy.